scary tale story.
I never really liked clowns. My dad said I used to scream in grocery stores if I saw balloons tied to a clown's wrist. Maybe that's why this feels like my fault. Maybe that's why I can't sleep anymore. I was staying at my parents' house for a few weeks while I waited for my apartment lease to start. They live in an old farmhouse at the edge of town, with creaky stairs, thin windows, and an attic that always made me feel like something was breathing down my neck. The room I stayed in was upstairs, the one with the tiny door in the corner that led to the crawl space under the eaves. On the first night, I heard something in that crawl space. A shuffling, slow and deliberate, like hands dragging across cardboard boxes. I told myself it was a mouse. But the next morning, I noticed something strange. A red balloon, half deflated, tied to the knob of that tiny door. My parents swore they hadn't put it there, and I tried to laugh it off. The second night, I heard it again. Not just shuffling now, but soft, strained breathing. I lay in bed with the blankets pulled up to my chin, staring at the door. At 3:17 a.m., the knob turned just slightly, the balloon bobbing with the motion. I didn't move. I didn't even breathe. The door didn't open, but something pressed against it from the inside, making the wood bend inward, like it was leaning against it, testing it. The third night it opened. I woke up to the sound of the knob clicking, and the door creaked open just an inch. Enough for me to see darkness inside, but not empty darkness. There was a smell that came with it, like wet earth and copper. I tried to tell myself it was just the house settling, that the balloon had popped and pushed the door open. But when I got up to close it, I saw something retreat into the darkness. It was the color that got me first, white, with a stripe of red, like face paint, and a glint, like a glassy eye reflecting the moonlight. I shut the door and pushed my dresser in front of it. That morning I found another balloon at the foot of my bed. This one was fully inflated, bright red, and tied with a white ribbon. My parents tried to convince me it was a prank by the neighborhood kids, but I know what I saw. I started staying up, keeping a flashlight under my pillow, watching the door. The fourth night, I fell asleep by accident. I woke up to the feeling of someone breathing against my face. I couldn't move at first. Sleep paralysis, I thought. Until I realized my eyes were open and I could see it. A clown crouched at the side of my bed. Its makeup was cracked, the red smile painted too wide, with yellow teeth poking out from between dry, blackened lips. It wore a dirty, ruffled collar, and its hair was in thin, greasy tufts matted to its scalp. Its eyes were too big, bulging, and it blinked without lids, a wet clicking sound echoing in the room each time. It tilted its head, and the corners of its mouth lifted as it leaned closer, pressing its cold nose against mine. It smelled like rot and mildew. I wanted to scream, but it put a gloved finger, yellowed and torn, over its lips. "Shh," it whispered, its breath rattling, moist and cold. I closed my eyes, praying it would go away, but I could still hear it breathing, feel its weight on the mattress as it crawled onto the bed, feel its hands on my shoulders as it hovered over me. When I opened my eyes again, it was gone, but the red balloon was there, tied to my wrist. I tried to leave that day, but my parents said I was overreacting, that I needed sleep. They didn't see the scratches on my wrist where the ribbon had been tied too tight. That night, I didn't sleep at all. Every time I blinked, I saw it standing in the corner, head tilted, holding a balloon in its hand, waiting for me to close my eyes for just a moment too long. On the sixth night, I moved into the living room, hoping it wouldn't follow me. But at 3:17 a.m. I heard the door creak open. And then I saw it, standing in the doorway, balloon floating above its head, its smile stretching wider than before. It walked in slowly, each step deliberate, letting the balloon brush against the ceiling. It crawled over the back of the couch, hovering above me, drooling onto my face as it lowered itself, its breath mixing with mine. Time to laugh, it whispered. Tonight I woke up in my bed, gasping, the red balloon tied to my wrist again, the ribbon so tight it cut into my skin. It is now 3:15 a.m. I can hear the balloon bumping against the ceiling again, and the breathing is right outside my door. I can see the knob turning now, slowly back and forth, and I know when it reaches 3:17 a.m. the door will open, and it will crawl into the room, and it will watch me while I pretend to sleep. And if I blink, if I close my eyes for even a second, it will crawl into my bed, its cold hands wrapping around my neck, its yellow teeth smiling as it whispers in my ear, time to laugh.
Like and subscribe to Scary Tales Story for more horror tales that will haunt your dreams and keep you checking the shadows.